So we're working on the solo for American Idiot, right? And there's two things that you're going to want to work on for this solo to make it a lot easier to play. Number one is memorizing how both the solo sounds and the notes, how they're associated with it. Like, so all the lines that are written out here, what each of those sounds like as a part of the solo, how those are phrases of the solo. Because once you can kind of commit that all to memory, then it becomes a lot easier to get through. And number two is the technical part of being able to make sure that you can articulate all the notes in a timely manner. All right, so the first phrase we have is, okay? Now in that one, there's a lot of notes on the ands. 1, 2, and 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 2, and 3, 4. Right? So all those, so the tens right there, there's a bunch on the offbeats. Right? Those are all the ands. And 3, 4. Okay? So that's the first line. That one's pretty straight ahead. Next one. And then that, again, that 13 that we're playing with the pinky there is 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3, 4. And 2, 3, 4. Right? A lot of these eighth note rhythms. Right? But those two are pretty fine. You've got those pretty well. It's just a matter of kind of cleaning those up. Now, the next part is the first real tricky line in the solo, and it kind of breaks into two different halves. The first part isn't so bad. Okay, so that's essentially the same as the previous one. Right, it's a very similar in how it lays on the guitar, but it's nowhere. Okay, and jumping up there for the 15 is going to be the tricky part of this first half of this riff, that jump. Okay, and so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look at the target fret, which is our 15th fret, before you start moving. So you're going to. And as soon as I play that note here at the 13th fret with my pinky, I'm looking at the 15th, so I know where my hand needs to jump to in order to get that note in time. Okay, so that's the first half. That's not so bad. Here's the part that's tricky, is where we have. Okay, now in order to get that, notice what my index finger does. Right? My index finger is staying put, but applying pressure on different strings at a time. So if I were applying pressure to all 4 of the top strings, I would want my index finger completely flat up against the strings here, and on the top 4 strings. Now I'm kind of rolling in and out of that pressure. I'm going tip of my index finger for, and then kind of the pad of my index finger there, right here, for that second. And the ring finger jumps out. And now here, to get that note, I'm playing it here just below the knuckle of my index finger. Okay? So I'm not moving my index finger. I'm just rolling where the pressure is. Okay? And that's going to be the hardest part of this whole solo. Yeah, that's probably the hardest part of the whole solo, is that. Okay? And then it walks back down. So those first 3 lines all together here. I should probably count you in. That would be nice of me. Jeez Louise, man. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now at this point it repeats, and we do the first two lines again. And then we have the final line of the solo, which is at the second ending. Which is the exact same as the third line we were playing, except it's got 3 different notes at the end. So instead of doing that figure, we have now 13, 13, and 13, all on the the 5th, then the 4th, then the 3rd strings. Okay, so you're going to play the riff the same way, but then with your pinky, you're just going to move up 1 string at a time. Okay, so the whole solo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat. Second ending. Two, three, four. That last part isn't in there, but I thought it'd be funny. Anyway, so if you can get the solo to where you can play along with what I just played, then all you have to do is start worrying about speeding it up so that way we get to the same tempo as the song. So yeah, do that.